Welcome to this week's video. I'm Luke.
And I'm Amanda. Welcome back to our channel.
This week we're going to talk about what the plan is with the van and what the layout is going to look like and how we're going to do it.
If you're new to this channel, we are converting a medium wheelbase VW Crafter into a 4-berth motorhome. Our caravan and camping life has up until now been in a caravan. We had a 22-foot Jayco Journey, which we absolutely loved, and we have taken that on loads of trips all around New Zealand. We thought we might try a bit more of a weekend vehicle, which is where the van came in.
The caravan had a couple of limitations where we felt the setup to actually go away, we needed to be away for a long period. The last trip we took was a 6-week road trip to Te Anau in the South Island, all the way back up to Auckland again. Which was great with the caravan because you can stop for 2 or 3 days in a place, set up, create like a base camp and go and explore from there. But what we found quite difficult is actually just shooting off for like a night. Our driveway means that we can't keep a caravan in it at the moment, so it's always kept somewhere else. So we'd have to take all our stuff out there, set it up and drive off, and it just feels like we can't make a spontaneous type trip.
Yeah, and I guess over winter too, we're coming into winter, we go skiing a lot more. The mountain that we ski at in New Zealand is a 4-hour drive from here, and we will do a lot more weekend trips with our kids playing sports and things. We'll go after sport, just go down for a night or two, not necessarily needing to take away a caravan for just a weekend.
And we also found with the size of the 22 foot
yeah,
journey that there were a couple of limitations with campgrounds, like it was just slightly too long. The last campground in the South Island that we were in at Kaiteri, which we'd been before, but we had a site that was on a corner, which meant we could get in easily, whereas this year it was a bit of a drama getting in. We had to get the tractor in to do it, and there was a lot of like pivoting on the wheels, which didn't look so great.
No.
But then it got in and we got out fine, but it was just a bit painful, whereas we like something that's a bit shorter and a bit more maneuverable to go into those places, especially when we're there for only a day. We're at Kaiteri for a week, so taking an hour to set up wasn't a problem. Going to smaller places for shorter periods of time, we think a van will work really well with that. And the reason why we chose a medium wheelbase was again for the length. We want to be able to drive this around town as well. It's going to be my daily driver for the next little while. So having a long wheelbase just makes it a pain to park. I mean, the high roof means you can't really go into like multi-story car parks anyway, and the medium wheelbase still takes up a full car park. So we needed to bear that in mind. So that's why we went with the medium wheelbase. And also trying to fit a 4-berth into
a long wheelbase would have meant we were more likely to go overweight as well.
That's right.
So the medium wheelbase was going to have to be the way to go. Yeah, and as Luke said, with the 22-foot caravan, we did end up having to at least call campgrounds beforehand and check that we weren't going to be too big, whereas this, we won't have any problems.
That's right. There is a bit of an elephant in the room with a van though.
Luke hates sliding doors. He has even told people that he will disown them if they ever bought a vehicle with sliding doors.
I told my sister that, and I had to ring her up and have quite an awkward conversation with her when I bought it. And I said to her, look, VJ, I've got something that I really, really need to admit to you. And I just said, look, I've bought a van with 2 sliding doors. And she was like, what? But you said this, you said that. I was like, yep, but I've changed my mind.
This van we are going to make fully self-contained, which in New Zealand means that we have to have enough water on board for all 4 of us for 3 days. And that is a minimum, I think, of 12 litres per day.
Yep.
and we also have to have a fixed toilet. It can't be a porta potty. Well, actually at the moment it can be a porta potty, but in the next rule changes it won't be able to be a porta potty. It will have to be a fixed toilet. And what else do we have to be self-contained?
Grey water
yeah.
tank as well. It needs to be enough for grey waste as well. That can be on board or outboard. It doesn't, but it just needs to be available.
And we have to have a rubbish bin.
Yeah, a rubbish bin with a lid. It
There's a few
definitely
different
creates
things.
some limitations for this size van, which we'll go through when we run through the layout.
So the layout, as you know, we're trying to fit in 2 bunks. We are trying to fit in a bed for us. We also now need a toilet, a shower, and a kitchen.
So let's jump into the back and go through what we're going to do.
What we're going to do is our 2 bunks are going to go along the back here. There's going to be one at about this height over the top of these door hinge things. And then the second bunk will be here. Now the bunks will be slightly smaller than our Jayco caravan. They'll be slightly shorter. It'll be about 1700, 1750 long, hopefully.
The top one or the bottom one will be about 1830 or something, yeah.
And then they'll be the same width, which of course will fit our glamp bedding perfect on them. Underneath the bunks, we're going to have the electrical underneath this bunk here. This part will be split into 3. So we'll have the electrical. This part here will be 2 drawers that will come out into the hallway, and then under this side will be a little bit of like a garage, I suppose, because whatever goes in here is going to need to be removable, because you'll see that in a minute as to why. So coming forward, we are going to then have a kitchen here with overhead cupboards, and so the kitchen hopefully will fit everything in it. The wheel well will take a little bit of space out of the back of the cupboards, but we're hoping to be able to use that area behind there also for, say, like the water pump and things like that.
And the hot water heater as
and
well.
maybe the hot water heater. Coming to the other side of the van, we are going to put the bathroom here. So the bathroom will have to go over this wheel well, which is proving to be a little bit difficult because we don't live in the UK. If we lived in the UK, it would be absolutely fantastic, but we don't. So more to come on how we're actually going to make that work and keep the shower waterproof. But the fixed toilet will have to sit here lengthways, and the cassette toilet will have to be emptied by the cassette coming out underneath the bunks, which is why whatever needs to be in that little garage area is removable. So coming forward of the bathroom will be a tower of drawers for all our clothes, and then Luke might talk about the seats, because
You want to turn the driver's seat into a swivel seat, so it swivels around, and we want to turn this passenger seat into a single passenger seat, like a captain's seat, and have that swivel and turn around. And then this unit here will move here for the girls to sit, which will be the double seat there. And then we'll have, this will be the dining area as well. There'll be a table here that either just clips on or flips out. We'll work that out once we've worked the seats out. Because what we need to do in New Zealand, this will have to be certified as a low volume vehicle. So there's quite a bit of stuff that we have to do with an engineer to make sure that these seats are deemed safe on New Zealand roads, which is a little bit different that I've seen on other van builds, where you can basically, if you're screwing a Volkswagen approved part to the floor, it's generally okay. But we want to make this a fully legal motorhome for New Zealand roads.
And also we're going to have to put a seatbelt on that, because obviously one of the seatbelts currently on that bench seat is attached to the wall over here, so we'll have to put a second seatbelt once it's moved to being the bench seat.
The simplest solution to that is actually putting a lap belt on the middle seat, which we can do. I mean, obviously a 3-point belt would be better, but then we'd have to create a lot more steel structure to hold the ratchet and that sort of thing. So it's easier just to do a lap belt. But what we're going to do is there'll be a platform built here, just out of some 100 by 50 steel, which will cantilever out over this bit, the door slide, the step, and then this will just bolt straight to that. So that's quite simple. Then we have a seat box on order from Volkswagen to put over there, and then we're going to have a different driver's and passenger seat that have a built-in swivel rather than putting a swivel in. So yeah, that'll allow us to have our sort of lounge area out the front, and also the travelling area once they're swiveled back into the driving position.
But where are we going to sleep, Luke?
That's it. The party piece is coming up next. We're getting a Euroloft style bed lift system. So that'll be situated up in here. It'll actually kick up this headlining. I will remove and modify a bit to fit.
So if you have a look, there's actually loads of room in here in this headlining. So we're going to utilise that space probably for our feet.
Yep. And the bed will lower down. These will swivel around, and I'll actually lower down to the height of this here, which will be the same, and it will rest on the wardrobe that will be here. So that will allow us for a 2 metre long bed, and then it will be 1380 wide. I think, is it 1380?
Yeah, I think that's a double.
Yeah, so it'll be basically the size of a normal standard double. So that'll be really, really good. What we're going to have to do is custom make a mattress, just to try and get one that is as low a profile as possible. But we can do that with just using different rubbers and foams, and then make a cover for it.
The downside of this build is obviously Luke is 6 foot.
6 foot, 185 centimeters, yeah.
So having the bed up here will mean that this area, he won't be able to stand up.
But I will be able to stand up once we move past it into this area here, which is where the bathroom and kitchen, or half of the kitchen will be. But that is the trade-off of being in a van. Like everything, you're limited by space.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to not have to put too much structure in up here to hold the ceiling up, so we can have as much headroom as possible. But we'll just play that as it comes, basically. That's our plan.
Hopefully it works.
You still don't believe?
It's getting there.
It's looking quite good. We're on target. Most of the big items are ordered and on their way to us. So that makes me feel good that we'll be able to put it all together in a shorter amount of time. There will be some delays. We've already got a delay around our water tanks, which we have a workaround for. And there might be some delays around getting the engineering completed on the seats. But other than that, everything else should be here over the next week or so, and then we'll be able to start putting it all together. The next video, the cat is out of the bag already, no doubt. You can see the sound editing is in, but we've got a test on actually how effective it is and if it's worth it. So tune in next week and we'll go through how the sound editing has worked.
So if you liked this video and obviously want to watch the rest of the van build, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. That really helps us out, and we will see you in the next one.